Good morning, children. Yesterday we have completed our chapter, the first flight, number 1, जो इस बुक का टाइटल भी है. Got it? Now I am going to discuss the second chapter in this, we can say second unit of this chapter, as the black aeroplane. Got it? Here in this chapter, what we are going to discuss, a writer, or we can say writer of the chapter, himself is a pilot of the chapter, we can say aeroplane, and he is going to his own home. So what would happen with him in the, we can say, way, we will discuss about that. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. Yani, the writer is himself narrating this story, and he is saying that it was a full moon, and stars were shining in the sky. That was also clear. The sky is also, we can say, perfect for the flight. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and saaf suthra akash tha, not a cloud can be seen there. I was happy to be alone, high up above the sleeping countryside. Countryside, gaon ki taraf. He was alone and he was happy. The pilot of the plane was very happy. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. What was the name of the aeroplane? Dakota. And he was flying on the over France. France जो country है उसके ऊपर, and he was coming where? He was coming England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. And what was the dream? What he was going to enjoy? He was going to enjoy his holidays, and he also wanted to go with his family. इसका मतलब he belongs to England and working in France. I looked at my watch. 1:30 in the morning. कितना बजा था? 1:30 in the morning. मतलब रात का. That was the, we can say, starting of we can say, pilot, that he was moving to England from Paris. England, it was his hometown. That is why he was going there. I should call Paris control soon, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of aeroplane, I saw the light of a big city in front of me. Where he was landing, or we can say where he was going, he was on the Paris. And he wanted to make a contact with we can say Paris control room, and big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said Paris control Dakota DS 088 here. ये था way of communication कि Paris control, that is Dakota DS 088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England over. कह रहा कि आप मुझे सुन सकते हो? I am on my way to England. मैं कहाँ जा रहा हूँ? इंग्लैंड जा रहा हूँ. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS 088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degree west now. कह रहा कि तुम्हें घूमना है, 12 डिग्री वेस्ट की तरफ घूमना है. DS 088 over. यानी that was the communication between Paris control room and the, we can say, pilot. And the instructions which were given to him from Paris control room, that you should turn 12 degree. The voice from the radio, I checked the map and compass. Compass means instrument for telling direction. The pilot checked the map and also compass. Switched over to my second and last fuel tank and turned to Dakota 12 degree west toward England. मेरा वो जो पानी फ्यूल वाला टैंक, उसको सेकेंड एंड लास्ट फ्यूल टैंक उसको स्विच वी कैन से ओवर किया, एंड ही टर्न टुवर्ड्स इंग्लैंड 12 डिग्री वेस्ट साइड. आई विल बी इन टाइम फॉर ब्रेकफास्ट. और कह रहा कि आई वुड रीच एट द टाइम ऑफ ब्रेकफास्ट. आई थॉट ए गुड बिग इंग्लिश ब्रेकफास्ट. एवरीथिंग वाज गोइंग वेल. इट वाज एन इजी फ्लाइट. That was a very smooth and shining type of flight, and he was moving very slowly, and everything was nice, everything was okay, and he was dreaming of having a breakfast that was a healthy breakfast for. Got it? Understand? Is that clear? So now what we are going to do, so it was a smooth journey for him. He was moving. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. How many kilometers he crossed? 150 kilometers. When I saw the storm clouds, then what did he see? He saw the clouds. Okay, storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. Clouds ko bata raha hai. The clouds were very huge. They were just like the black mountains across the sky. कहाँ फंस गया? उसको ऐसा लगा कि मैं clouds बहुत ज़्यादा बादल हो गए. I knew I could not fly up over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. He was thinking that I would not be able to fly over them, and I'm also not having enough fuel that I should go towards north and south side. I ought to go back to Paris. That was the idea which came in his mind, that I should go back to Paris. I thought, but I wanted to get home. दोनों dilemma हो गया उसको, यानी confused हो गया कि मैं वापस जाऊँ या घर जाऊँ. वो चाहता था कि मैं घर निकलूँ. I wanted the breakfast. I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. What did the pilot decide? He decided to take the risk, and he moved into the clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. What was inside the cloud? Everything becomes black, and it was impossible for him to look over the we can say through the window, or we can say from the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. Aeroplane jump किया, twist किया उसने air में. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe. Then he saw the compass and he was unable to believe what? My eyes, that compass was turning round and round and round. जो direction यंत्र जो था ना, tailing direction, that was turning round and round and round and round. It was dead. खराब हो गया. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead. All the instruments, the helping aids he was having, all were stopped working. I tried the radio. और उसने रेडियो से कांटेक्ट करने का सोचा. Paris control, can you hear me? This was the radio connection. There was no answer. The radio was dead too. Radio खत्म. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. He was without radio, without compass, and he was unable to find out his position. I was lost in the storm. He was thinking that I am in storm. तूफान में फंस गया. Then in the black clouds quite near me. And what came? Black cloud quite near me. I saw another aeroplane. What was coming from that side? Another aeroplane. Yani he was thinking that I am lost in the storm. Then suddenly what happens? Another aeroplane came. It had no light on its wings. उसकी wings पे कोई light नहीं थी. Wings पे light होती है, signal मिलता है. But I could see it flying next to me through the storm. और क्या हो रहा है, जैसे कि the aeroplane which was coming, that was the next to him, and he was leading him. ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे उसको lead करके ले जा रहा है. I could see that the pilot's face turned towards me, and what happens? In another aeroplane, the pilot's face turned toward the writer. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. And the writer becomes very happy when he saw that another person was flying in a jet, or we can say aeroplane, and he waved him. उसने उसको हाथों का इशारा किया. Follow me. He was saying follow me. और कह रहा है मुझे follow करो. Who was saying? The another pilot. यानी he was totally in storm. There were huge, we can say clouds like mountains, and he was in them, and he was thinking that I am in trouble. But suddenly what happens? A Aeroplane came towards him and he was leading him. He knows that I am lost. I thought he is trying to help me. वो जानता है कि मैं खो गया. And I thought that the another pilot is trying to help me. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north side. Where did he turn? North side. In front of my Dakota, who was behind him, Dakota aeroplane, so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to get behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Why the word obedient child is used here? Actually, the child is also follow his elders. In that way, the students also follow the teachers. That's why he was just become like an obedient child, and he was not doing nothing. He was following just the aeroplane who was going ahead of him. He was just like an obedient child. Because अगर वो नहीं करता तो भी क्या कर सकता? उसको तो करना पड़ता, वो तो खो गया था उसमें. And in which direction the aeroplane changed? We can say move. That was north. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. After spending half an hour, the strange aeroplane was still there in front of him in the cloud. वो जो strange aeroplane था वो उसके सामने था. Now there was only enough fuel in all Dakotas, we can say, last and to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. यानी कितना फ्यूल बचा था? That was only enough fuel in the old Dakota last fly for 5 or 10 minutes. Only that could fly for 5 or 10 minutes. इतना ही कुछ बचा. I was starting to feel frightened again. Who was starting to feel frightened again? The writer, the pilot whose aeroplane was in the clouds. वो पायलट नहीं जो उसको लीड कर रहा था, वो पायलट जो उसका फॉलो कर रहा था, उसमें उतना ही फ्यूल बचा था कि 5 और 6, 7, 8 मिनट तक चल सके. But then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. And suddenly what happens? The aeroplane which was leading him was moving down. He was moving down on the earth. और रनवे की तरफ जा रहा था. And the pilot also started to follow him. Suddenly I came out of the cloud and saw 2 long straight lines of light in front of me. What happens? Suddenly the writer felt that he came from the clouds and saw 2 long straight lines of light in front of me. उसने देखा कि 2 long straight lights, ये क्या थी? रनवे. That was the runway. यानी वो कहाँ आ गया था? वो रनवे पे आ गया था. It was runway, an airport. I was safe. It was runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane. To whom he was trying to find out? He was trying to find out his friend. He was considering him the another we can say pilot like a friend. क्यों? क्योंकि उसी ने उसको लीड करके उस मुसीबत से निकाला. The black aeroplane that was leading only saved the life of pilot. Otherwise he would be, we can say, lost in the storm. कुछ भी हो सकता था. That's why he was calling him friend. But the sky was empty. आकाश खाली. There was nothing there. कुछ भी नहीं था वहाँ पे. The black aeroplane was gone. The black aeroplane which was leading me has disappeared. Was not present there. I could not see it anywhere. I was unable to see it anywhere. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. What did he say? कि मैंने land किया and was not feeling sorry. Why? Because to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower, and he moved from the Dakota. Sorry क्यों नहीं feel रहा? कि उसको जाके उससे पूछना चाहिए कौन था वो. तो he moved from the Dakota and near the control tower. कहाँ चला गया वो? Control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center. where I was and who the other pilot was. What did the, we can say, writer do? He went to the control tower and he asked a woman was giving her duty there, and what he asked her, that where I am, he wanted to ask about his position. So where is the position of the person, कहाँ है वो, and where is the person who had helped him, कि वो बंदा कौन है जिसने उसकी हेल्प की. I wanted to say thank you, मैं कि उसको मिलना चाहता हूँ और मैं उसको thank you बोलना चाहता हूँ. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Who looked at him very strangely? The woman, the lady. She looked at him very strangely. Why she was looking at him strangely? We will give the answer. And also laughed. So वो हंसी भी. Another aeroplane up there in this storm, इस तूफान में दूसरा aeroplane. No, other aeroplanes were flying tonight. कोई भी aeroplane नहीं fly कर रहा है यहाँ पे इस रात में. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. केवल आप ही का एरोप्लेन था that was flying in the sky. And how did I see? I could see it through the radar. radar होता है जो सिग्नल वगैरह सब कुछ देख लेता है एरोप्लेन के वगैरह के ना. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio? The writer was thinking कि who was the person who helped him without a compass, without a radio, and without any more fuel in my tanks. मेरे टैंक्स में इतना फ्यूल भी नहीं था, बताया था ना 5 या 6 मिनट का फ्यूल बचा था. He was not having any compass, any radio, all the instruments were dead. He was not having any enough fuel. Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane? उस black aeroplane में कौन था वो पायलट? Flying in the storm without lights. जो बिना लाइट्स के स्ट्रोम में क्या कर रहा था, तूफान में उड़ रहा था, विदाउट लाइट्स. सो डियर चिल्ड्रन, दैट वाज द चैप्टर द ब्लैक एरोप्लेन. आई थिंक दिस इज द, वी कैन से, इमेजिनेशन ऑफ द राइटर. दीज आर द फिक्शंस, द स्टोरीज विच आर रिटन ऑन द इमेजिनेशन. ओके, and there are 2 chapters. What is first flight and black aeroplane. अब first flight में seagull था. What did he learn from that? Got it? How did he learn to fly? I think his parents, brothers and sister motivated him to fly, and at last he got courage to fly. उसके अंदर क्या था कि उसके अंदर टैलेंट था, लेकिन उसको टैलेंट शो नहीं हो रहा था. इस तरीके से सेकंड चैप्टर में क्या पढ़ा अपन ने कि दैट वाज द आल्सो इंसिडेंट. जैसे कि तुम लोगों को पता है बर्मुडा ट्रायंगल, उसके बारे में भी काफ़ी कहावतें हैं. इसी तरीके से ये है, द पायलट वाज गोइंग टू हिज होम टाउन इंग्लैंड. ही वाज थिंकिंग टू, वी कैन से, टू लिव विद हिज फैमिली, एंजॉय विद हिज हॉलीडेज, हैविंग ए ब्रेकफास्ट इन द मॉर्निंग. At 1:30 in the morning, it was the time. Was moving smoothly, सब कुछ बढ़िया था, आकाश वगैरह सब एकदम फर्स्ट क्लास था. अचानक वेदर खराब हुआ. There were huge clouds of, we can say, huge clouds like a mountains were in front of him, and nothing was working. यहाँ की compass, radio, everything was destroyed, and he saw a black aeroplane was coming towards him. And he saw the face of the pilot, and pilot also signaled him to follow him, and he was following him. तो ये एक chapter है that is we have completed today. It is also, I think, it's a imagination of, we can say, the pilot. I think that should not be true. Maybe it is true, but these are the fictions. We should not believe on these things. So first flight and black aeroplane, both are related to the flight. ठीक, एक वो फ्लाइट जिसमें उसको मोटिवेशन मिला, देन ही स्टार्टेड टू फ्लाई. एक ये फ्लाइट जिसको भी क्या मिला, एक प्रकार से मोटिवेशन ही मिला, एक ऐसा सिग्नल, या फिर कुछ उसके दिमाग में कुछ ऐसा चल रहा था कि मुझे यहाँ से इस तरीके से फॉलो करना है. सो दीज आर ओनली टोटली बेस्ड ऑन द मोटिवेशन, बोथ द चैप्टर्स. देख, आई विल टेक द रिस्क. क्वेश्चन आंसर, व्हाट इज द रिस्क? व्हाई डज द नरेटर टेक इट? रिस्क क्या थी? Risk to cross the black mountains. like to black clouds that was like a mountains. It was the risk for him. And why does the narrator take risk? क्यों? He wanted to go his home and it was also उसके पास दो चांस थे, दो ऑप्शन थे, एक तो वापस पेरिस चला जाए या फिर अपने घर चला जाए. इनफ फ्यूल था नहीं तो उसने क्या किया, मैंने उसने डिसाइड किया कि मैं रिस्क लूँगा. Describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. किस तरीके से उसने स्टॉर्म में एरोप्लेन फ्लू किया, उड़ाया. You should describe like that. We was going, the weather was smooth and the sky was clear, but suddenly he saw the huge mountains like a huge clouds like a mountains were in front of him. He was totally frightened and his compass radio were all dead and he was in we can say dilemma that where should I go, what should I do. Then suddenly a black aeroplane came there. Who was sitting in the aeroplane? A pilot. He signaled him and he followed him and went to the, we can say, runway. Is that clear? Why did the narrator say I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota? No sorry मतलब होता है कि मुझे उससे माफी थैंक यू बोलना था, इसीलिए मुझे कोई गिल्टी फील नहीं हुई, इसीलिए मैं वहाँ से निकल पड़ा. What made the woman in the control center look at the narrator strangely? Because when the narrator asked where is the second pilot, कहाँ है, then woman was also surprised because on that day, particular day, there were no flights. No aeroplane can be seen in the sky. Only one aeroplane can be seen. That was the aeroplane of writer. That's why she was surprised. What do you think helped the narrator to reach safely? Discuss this among yourself and give reason for your answer. ये है अपनी imagination के ऊपर. Understand? So these are the questions of the chapter. Okay. So in this chapter, in these two chapters, we have discussed a lot. मतलब यही है कि both chapters are related to the motivation. एक में पेरेंट्स ने मोटिवेट किया एंड सेकंड वाज मोटिवेटेड बाय हिज ओन इंस्टिंक्ट, खुद की इंस्टिंक्ट से मोटिवेट हुआ वो. इज दैट क्लियर चिल्ड्रन? आई होप यू हैव एंजॉयड दैट. वर्ड मीनिंग्स कुछ ज़्यादा तो है नहीं. कंपास इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर टेलिंग डायरेक्शन. फ्राइटिंग टेरिफाइड. फॉलोड चेस्ड. ओबीडियंट वन हु ओबेज. एक लाइक ए चाइल्ड. एक मोर इंपॉर्टेंट सेंटेंस है. एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि ही वॉज नॉट फीलिंग एनी शोरी to move from that old Dakota. So I hope you have understood that. Thank you. Okay, bye.